Hey folks, the weather is really lousy outside and it's nighttime. I thought I was going to come home and just kind of kick back and relax, but when I got home and turned on the TV, I realized this was actually a really good opportunity to clean my firearms and do some regular maintenance. I was out at the range this weekend with a buddy of mine shooting. We were at the handgun range just shooting all kinds of pistols, and I was shooting my Smith Wesson M&P series pistols, both my compact and full size. And that's a really popular pistol that a lot of you probably own or probably have experience with. So I thought I would take this as an opportunity to create an instructional video and just kind of do a how-to about how to take down, how to disassemble, and how to reassemble the Smith Wesson M&P series pistol. I'm going to be doing this with both the full-size variant of the pistol as well as the compact variant of the pistol. Really, if you take a look at them, we can go over this in another video, but they are pretty much the exact same gun with just a different length barrel and a different height, a different magazine and pistol grip. So with anytime you're working on a gun, whether it's cleaning or maintenance or anything, the first thing that you want to do is check to make sure that gun's unloaded. So immediately, there's no magazine in here. I'm gonna open up the chamber. Chamber's clear, no cartridge in there. So this gun is clear. Now this gun, you'll see it's in a holster. This is my carry gun. A lot of people freak out when you bring a loaded gun onto the review table, but I'm an advocate for any gun you carry should always be loaded. If you are carrying a firearm that's not loaded or does not have a round in the chamber, you might as well carry a rock, because really that's what it is. A gun is not usable if it's not carried loaded. And to me, any gun that's in a holster is loaded. That's my first signal. So I'll pull that out of the holster, remove the magazine, remove the cartridge in the chamber. Now I'm going to take the magazine and the cartridge, put them well out of the way so I could not possibly mix them up in this review process. I'm going to check it even one more time, make sure the chamber's clear, we're all good. And now I'm going to demonstrate two ways to take down these M&P pistols. The M&P is innovative in the design that it is one of the few striker fired pistols where it has an option that allows you to not have to pull the trigger to take it down. Glocks or a lot of other guns, you have to always pull the trigger when you are taking the gun down, and a lot of people are really discomforted by that. And I understand that, really, because even if you know a gun is unloaded, you should always treat every gun as if it is loaded. So you should never be pulling the trigger unless you are actually aiming at something you intend to destroy. So Smith & Wesson has a way to do it without pulling the trigger. I'm going to show you that first, and I'm going to show you the way to do it with pulling the trigger. So to do it without pulling the trigger, there's a little tool on the bottom that kind of hangs off the heel of the pistol. This turns 90 degrees, you'll feel it click a little bit, and then it pulls right out. And it's kind of a little pick. It's just a steel cylinder. You'll use this, and if you look down through the pistol, you can see there's two little levers in there. The second one, the lower one, it's actually painted yellow, so it makes it easy to see, but sometimes when it's really dirty, it's hard to see the paint. You'll just take that and you'll push it down. And you'll feel it click in place, you'll feel it move. You may not be able to see it super well on video, but if you have one of these guns, when you open it up, it'll be pretty obvious. There's two rods, it's the bottom one. So you'll push that down, and then from this point, you take the pistol. My slide's already locked back. It's got a takedown lever right here. And if you can see on top of the takedown lever, it's got a little semicircle cut in the slide. That kind of shows you this is the position it needs to be in to use the takedown lever. So you'll rotate the takedown lever 90 degrees, it'll rotate in that little cutout, and you're ready to go. From now, or from this point forward, you just take the pistol, notice I'm not even touching the trigger here, pull it back just like you're chambering around, and then pull it forward, it'll snap into place, and then keep pulling forward, and it comes undone. And now I have my polymer lower, and I have the slide assembly. So the slide assembly, the first thing I will take off is the guide rod and spring. and you can just leave that spring on the guide rod. Really, the guide rod doesn't get that dirty. The spring gets a little bit dirty, but you can easily just wipe that down. There's not really any need to take that spring off unless you're doing maintenance and replacing the spring or something like that. But for basic field stripping, leave that together. And then from here, to take the barrel out, it's pretty obvious. You'll just take this, I like to push it with this finger, it pops out, then you just slide it back. So pretty easy, pretty obvious. To put the gun back together, you'll do it the exact same way. Put the barrel in forward, put it back into place. You'll take the guide rod. Now this can only go in one way. If you try to put it in the other way, it might be frustrating, but you can't put it in wrong. If you notice there's a little end and a big end, the little end goes forward because the little end goes through that guide hole. And also, if you still have the paint or it's not too dirty, this end is painted yellow, that end goes forward. So you'll put a little pressure on here, put the guide rod back in place, and you're done with the slide assembly. Now to put it back on the frame, you just line it up on these little stainless steel guide lips. They fit right here. So you'll just line it up, pull it back, it'll click right in place, and you'll keep pulling it back and lock your slide open just like normal. And then this takedown lever, you'll turn it the other way, and you're good to go. Now I'm gonna pull the trigger here just for demonstration purposes. The trigger doesn't do anything. It doesn't click, it doesn't engage. That's because that trigger bar that we talked about earlier is still down. Now you can use the tool, or it's really easy to just push it down with your finger or pull it back up with your finger. Sometimes pushing it down, I like to use the tool, but to reset it, using your finger is pretty easy. And also when you put a new magazine in here, that automatically resets it. So there's no chance that forgetting to do that step is going to disable your gun when you actually need to use it. So, because when you put a magazine, it'll be ready to rock. It'll be good to go. And I'm gonna put this tool back in here. And now this tool, let me talk about this for a second. That's actually how you would also change these back straps. They're removable and adjustable, and it comes with 3 different sizes. And that's all that holds that in is that little pin. So that's just a little side note. And so your gun is ready to go. Now I'm going to show you how to do it with pulling the trigger. It's the exact same except for that guide rod step. So you'll start out by locking back the slide. You'll take the takedown lever, rotate that 90 degrees, pull the slide back, release it forward. It won't go forward anymore. Now this is the point where when you're sure it's completely unloaded and empty, you'll pull the trigger, and now the slide will keep moving forward. And then from there, it's just the exact same as we talked about a moment ago. It's that easy. Now with the compact variant of the pistol, again, check in, it's unloaded. It's the exact same thing. You'll see when we open this up, the guts are really the same. The only difference is the barrel length and again, the pistol grip length. So it's got that same tool right here. Now that I've already kind of explained that in depth, I'm gonna just show you with pulling the trigger. I do it both ways. When I'm in a hurry, I do it with pulling the trigger just because fiddling with that tool takes a little bit of time. But it is a nice feature. So what you'll do is you'll lock the slide back like I already have. You will rotate the takedown lever. You'll pull the slide back. Oh, see that? The takedown lever actually closed back on me. Means I probably didn't get it all the way in position. And that'll happen sometimes. So you'll get it all the way there. And then now at this point, it won't move forward anymore. Like I showed you earlier, now you will carefully, when you're sure it's unloaded, pull the trigger, and the slide will come off. And then from there, guide rod, barrel. And if you notice, the components to the compact are the exact same as the full size. And to put it together, it's the exact same as the full size again. You'll put your slide back in, you'll put the guide rod back in, still painted yellow, and goes forward. Can only go one way. You got your slide assembly and your lower. You take the slide assembly, put it back on these lips. Now, sometimes if it's really dirty, it can be hard to line it up exactly, and then something won't work here. It'll be pretty obvious if there's a bunch of resistance, you've got something out of kilter or something's not working right. So just go back, line it up again, and you'll see it'll line up perfectly fine, and it'll work. So then I'll go ahead and lock my slide back, get my takedown lever, reset it to where it was, and I'm good to go. And that is how you field strip, how you disassemble and reassemble a Smith Wesson M&P series handgun.